So a lot of us started off as either CCS or CS, and a lot of CCS have dropped off into just CS, and a lot of CS have gone into CSBA, or just not computer science at all. Like some have just gone into business, or not even engineering. So it's just changed a lot, and a lot of that I don't think it's because we're like put down as being girls or anything. Like I mean, I've always felt very supported, but it's the fact that there aren't other girls.
The pipeline for women going to computing year after year is actually shrinking. It's actually shrinking. It's every year, so you have more guys outpacing it, right? And it's tough because essentially what you need is when you're going to recruiting events, you see a company with people that look like you who will share your interests. But as a woman going to these events, you're gonna find men, people who don't understand where you're coming from, who have never been in your situations, and it's rough. I do feel like whenever we go to networking events, there are situations where people would ask easier questions. It's not right that there's this preconception that women are going to be worse at programmers than men are.
Often guys would start with computers earlier, so video games or just basic programming. So sometimes if somebody's talking about the way this particular thing works this way is because of this, if a guy says it, it has more credibility than if a girl says it. But like if I can pull up facts or something to back up my argument, no one argues. They're like, oh, of course that makes perfect sense. But it's often, as a girl, you try just a tiny bit harder. They wouldn't be like, oh, you're a girl, so you're dumb. It's just something that, oh, we didn't think of it that way. Like, they'll come up with thinking of something in one perfectly logical way, but I'll come up with something in a completely different, also logical way. And it's very cool to be able to compare those two paths and often find something in the middle that works even better than either solution.
Does it make a lot of sense that you would have a whole team of guys building products that would cater to a huge majority who actually are women? If you want to go into the market and reach out to female demographic, it's really important to have someone at the founding level or co-founding level, senior management level who is female and has a strong voice. Overwhelmingly, the engineers who go into tech, they're university trained. We are not taught anything to do with gender equality stuff in college. We go into class. Okay, so my first EE class, we had 50 people. We had like 4 girls. And so you spend 4 years of your life that you develop all this technology background in a place where it was overwhelmingly guys. And to expect these engineers to have that social awareness, it's very hard. So perhaps that kind of education needs to be instilled earlier on. We need to do gender issues classes.
I think it's not something that starts in the workplace. It's something that starts when you're much younger than that. My parents used to get me Legos when I was little. My brother and I would both get Lego sets instead of me getting Barbies and him getting, trucks. We would both get Legos and we both loved them. We would build them together and maybe we'll make a castle and then I'll play with a princess with it and he will play the dragon or something. But it was the fact that we would work together to build it. And I think constructive things like that are kind of gender neutral or can be easily made gender neutral for very young kids and then growing up, I think that's what's important. So getting everybody, but mostly girls, more interested in engineering when they're young is what's going to make gender balances when they're older go away.